Hey guys, it is Halloween, so I thought I'd do a kind of spooky video. I say kind of spooky because it really isn't spooky at all. Now, basically, I saw one of my favourite YouTubers in the world, Edinger, I think he said. I'm not sure how to say it, and I feel really terrible for saying that. I'm a new poster, but that's not the point. Yeah, he did a video with like scariest things or whatever, and it's actually a tag that a lot of people have done. I mean, I knew that before, so I decided to do it with, similar questions. So yeah, write them down on that piece of paper. That was paper, so I'm just not going to say it. Okay, so the first question is, what was your scariest experience in real life? So I can't really think of one. Yes, okay. So, basically, me and my friend Jack, who you've probably seen on videos, where I used to live, I used to walk. We used to walk home together every day and walk to school together, and we'd always walk to school through. There's like two graveyards in that place. The new graveyard, as it is called, and the old graveyard. No way. But anyway, we always walk through the new graveyard. Nobody goes to the old graveyard because it has like an abandoned church, and it is literally creepy, and everything's overgrown, and it's just kind of typical horror movie, all that rubbish. But anyway, so we always walk through the new graveyard, and he said, "Holly, do you want to go to the old graveyard for once?" And that involved running across the motorway. So I say motorway, I mean like the main road. I don't know why I said motorway. But anyway, we ran across that. It was a horrible because I actually got hit by a car on that same road a few weeks later, so that's a story for another day. But anyway, we climbed over this wall because you have to like climb through walls, through bushes and stuff, and I was terrified as it was, because I don't mind graveyards, and I'm not the kind of person to be scared about like silly things, but oh my god, I don't know why I was terrified, but we were the only people there, and it was just stupid. But so I was walking with him. I was really scared, and I was like, "Jack, you sure this is a good idea? We should go back and stuff." So he was like, "Oh, it's gonna be fine." And like the pink lady's not gonna get you. I'll explain that later. But I was like, seriously. And then I swear to God, I felt something grab my leg. I was screaming my head off. I could not breathe. I was so terrified. And Jack, his face, he was like, "Oh my God, no, what have I done? Like, this was my idea." You could see it all in his eyes. And I was just like, and then he just suddenly started laughing his head off. And I had absolutely no idea why he was doing this. So I was like, "What?" And I realised nothing had grabbed my leg. It was a root, because remember I told you it was overgrown. It was a root. It was just like some leaf or something. It was like some stick that had grown both ways into the floor or something, and my leg had been caught in it. But seriously, it felt like something had grabbed my leg, and it was quite funny. But still, for the time it lasted, so one of my lights are flickering. So woo. For the time, got 60 seconds to live. Anyway, for the time it lasted, it was terrifying. Okay. Question number 2. What is your scariest paranormal experience? I don't really have that many paranormal experiences. I mean, I have these dolls in my room every night, but they don't come alive and kill anyone. No, I don't really have that many paranormal experiences. It's usually me pranking people with paranormal experiences. So yeah. Scariest movie I've ever seen? Well, I don't really watch scary movies, and even when I do, they don't scare me. I have this thing, I don't know why, but things that are supposed to be scary don't scare me at all. They're just like, oh, yeah, people acted in that, people meant that to be scary. It doesn't really work. But if something is like innocent or cute, I don't know why I'm always expecting it to turn bad. I think it's just this internet rubbish. But seriously, I can't stand things that are just too cute and innocent and peaceful. I can't stand it. I don't know why. That scares me, but other stuff doesn't. So, don't know what happened there, but yeah. Anyway, scariest video game. I don't really play scary video games. I mean, I've seen obviously watched people playing them, and I think the scariest one I've ever watched people play. I mean, I play Five Nights at Freddy's, but that doesn't scare me. So I think the scariest video game I've seen people play. I don't know. Scary video games don't really scare me that at all whatsoever. Anyway, question number 5: are you afraid of the dark? Kind of. Like, I'm not scared of the dark. I'm scared of things I have no control over, and that, like, yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm scared of the unknown. I'm not scared of the unknown. I'm not gonna see something there and be like, oh, I don't know what that is. Ugh. But it's more like, if there's like a shadow or something, I'm like, what is that? I have to move my chair out of the room every night because it's right next to my bed, and it always looks like a figure of someone. But yeah, I can have creepy dolls, because why not? Can you just not? Anyway, okay. Number 6. Any local urban legends? I've just moved, so I think the place I live now doesn't. I think it probably does have one, but I don't know of any. But there was one, as I said earlier, in the place where I used to live, there was an urban legend of the Pink Lady, and no, not the kind from Greece with the dancing and singing. I don't know what the story was. I think everybody made up their different versions of it and hoped it would spread or whatever, but it's not like a big urban legend, it was just a little horror story and stuff. And it was, one of the stories was that it was like a lady who like wore pink or something, I don't know, and then like she died because like some teenagers were like shooting her. And, like, I don't know why guns aren't legal, but in this country anyway. But like there were like kids or something, like being really antisocial or something, with like knives and guns or something, and she was like, stop swearing or something, and then they killed her, or like they laughed at her. I think one of the stories thought they threw rocks at her, and then they didn't mean for her to die, but she died. And then she has like a grave in the old graveyard, which is like, apparently says, I'm not dead, I'm just asleep, and that was the thing. But in the new graveyard there was what everybody else, what other people said was the Pink Lady's grave, and it was, I used to pass this every morning. I loved this grave. That sounds weird. It was basically just like a, normal grave with like stone over it, and it had like a statue on the grave, like lying down, someone sleeping, and I thought it was quite, not cute, but like a nice idea for a grave, But because it had the sleeping thing in it, that everybody assumed it was the Pink Lady. However, it was quite old because all the names were faded, so, if you know someone who has that exact grave, I'm sorry. I do not think you're related to the Pink Lady. But anyway. Favourite urban legend? My favourite urban legend is probably, let me think, I don't know that many. Well, there was, the Pink Lady one, just for laughs, but there was also, I don't know, it was just, I like all urban legends, they make me laugh. I think stuff like, don't look in the mirror at night I think that's my favourite one, not because I believe it, because I think it's stupid. Like, I have, like, 5 mirrors in my room, not because I like looking at myself, I hate looking at myself, I just like mirrors, I think they're cool. I've got like a big one that's kind of gothic-y with like squirrels and stuff. But anyway, I always look in mirrors at night because I'm always expecting like a face to appear. Yeah, that's another thing I do. Do you ever do that thing where if it's dark out, you can't close or open the curtains because you're expecting like a face or something to be there? Which is a funny story that actually my dad was outside and me and my brother were in my room like chatting about some dictionary thing. That's a story for another time. And then my dad was trying to get our attention from outside, but the windows were closed and we couldn't hear him. So he threw like a box of cat food at the window, but we didn't know it was a box of cat food. So I heard this knocking, so I opened the curtains, and I don't know why my mind did this, but all I could see was like a hand knocking against the window. So I was like, it's a hand! And then me and my brother were like freaking out, and my mum was like, oh my god, are you okay? And then my dad came in like, what's the matter? We were like, there was a hand on the window, and he was like, that was me with the cat food, and it was funny, but still, it was terrifying. Scariest nightmare. Oh, okay. This may not sound scary to you, but when you're in the dream, it is scary. I had a dream that they like little children, but they weren't actual children. They're like figures, but they were alive. Toy Story, like, you know, like the little army dudes from Toy Story, but imagine them with, like, Victorian children instead. Yeah, it's like that, because they had the thing in their legs and stuff, and they were, like, building a train or something, and I was there helping them, like, all proud of to build the train. I don't know why I got this, you know, don't look too much into this, because it probably means some deep thing, but about, like, the train signifies your inner, I don't know, but basically, the children was, like, building the train. I was sat there, like, you know, like, watching over them, making sure everything was okay. And then suddenly this all started screaming, and the train broke loose and started, like, going, and I was on the tracks, because I didn't know it was going to start. So I was running away from the train. And you know how in Thomas the Tank, like, they have faces? You know, in the old Thomas the Tank, they had, like, really bad CGI faces. It was, like, one of them. So I was running away from that, and I looked back, and I saw this face, okay? And I was so scared. It was my face, so it was, like, my face, like on a train. And it was terrifying. And all I remember is, like, the train me going, choo-choo, and then running me over, and then all the children screaming and stuff. It probably sounds really funny now, but at the time, I mean, it was terrifying. Next question is the best time you've ever scared someone. Now, I have a load of these, okay? The first one is at Guides. We had a camp, and, you know, it wasn't one of the outdoor camps. Don't know why. We went indoors because it got this weird place, and it's like, it's just like bunk beds and stuff, and everybody was arguing over something. I was the only one for my guides there, so there's like loads of other guides from other places. I didn't know anyone. Well, I knew like 2 people, but I didn't know them properly. I hadn't seen them in years. We met at a guides camp years ago, and I don't think they remember me, kind of thing. But yeah, that was it basically, and I wanted to scare them. I don't know why, but I really wanted to scare them. And we were all like telling horror stories and stuff, because, well, I wasn't. I was just listening. But they were telling horror stories, and I needed the toilet, so I went to the toilet, and I was the only one there. And it's like a little, you know, like in like a restaurant toilet where it's just like a little hole where you can have a queue, and then a few cubicles, taps, and then maybe in this case a bit of showers, but nobody used them because they don't work. Creepy. And then this like big, like horizontal kind of mirror, but it wasn't like a proper mirror. It was like one of them rubbish plastic mirrors that don't break. So what I done, I'd got, you know when you have wet hands and you like draw on the mirror, it stays, but you can only just see it when the light hits it. I don't know why, but I wrote help, like in like handprint smudges, and then like a handprint going down. Did you hear that? Anyway, like a handprint going down to scare them, and I thought nobody had noticed because it was like a 3-day and 2-night camp thing. So the next morning, I woke up and people said I'd been talking in my sleep, which, you know, I did on purpose by doing stuff like, I'm gonna kill you and stuff, and they were like, ooh, you're possessed and stuff, and I was like, me possessed? No, God, I just have weird dreams. So anyway, during like breakfast, we heard this scream coming from the bathroom, and then lots of people, like a few people ran, and one of the girls were terrified, and they said like, oh no, oh my God, and they were like really emotional, and I was like, oh my God, what's happened? Has someone died or something? And then I remembered what I'd done, and I was like, oh no, what if they found out it was me? What if they have some weird handprint detecting thing? Because I was little, I don't know. I say I was little, this was only like a year ago or 2, but you know what I mean. And they'd seen the help, and they were like, someone wrote help on the wall. And, you know, the adults there were obviously like, oh, don't be silly, it's just probably just one of your fellow guides pranking you, and, you know, don't be silly, we'll find out who did this and punish them or something. Like, I was scared that they'd find out, but they didn't find out, and they had no way of finding out. But no, it scared people for the rest of the thing. And that, it wasn't like a big jump scare kind of thing, it was more like a slow, everybody from then on was really tense and expecting something to happen at every time. So yeah, that was funny and good. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I have no other stories to tell you, except for this one! That did not scare you at all. Anyway, I got Cube Teddy, or QB, or Cube, or whatever you want to call it, in whatever language, from Magica Magica, who, you know, is kind of suitable for Halloween, considering he is the demon of the dark, even though he isn't. He's actually an incubator on the planet. That's a story for another day. And au revoir, dudes.